All right. Hi, everyone. This is Jennifer Donogh. I'm your host for the daily live webcast. It's called Jencast. It's a name, a working title, I guess. I do really like the name Jencast, I have to say. I was a little just worried about naming the live webcast after myself, but I think in the bigger picture of things, Jenn is a name that means more than just myself. It's about a generation of people. The name Jennifer was a big name from the 70s and 80s, and this live webcast is all about that generation, the people in their 20s and 30s that are going through big life changes. And it's really focused around young female entrepreneurs, obviously being a part of youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com. And so I've been doing live webcasting on a weekly basis with YFElive.com for the past couple years. But we actually have a big background in webcasting here on the Ovaleye TV studio. Youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com is a DBA of Ovaleye LLC. It's a company I'm an owner of. We started in shared web hosting. I actually became an entrepreneur in 2007. And that was when our family sat me down around a table, basically my parents, after I got back from Europe. And I was thinking about this today. I remember being in Prague and with my husband drinking cans of beers on a river, joking that when we come back, I'm going to get a job and we're going to have dental insurance and I'll make lots of money. And then I remember coming back and literally 2 days later, my parents sitting me down and saying, will you join Ovaleye? And I was like, sure. So there went dental insurance and all that fun stuff. But in the process, the shared hosting business was under Ovaleye, the same name, and we got started. And in 2010, we'd been doing little videos all along. That was a great way for marketing our company. We did tutorials and put them up on YouTube. We did short little videos about ourselves. And then we started doing these long form videos that were providing content, a way of entertaining, and also just some informational for our web hosting clients. And we would sit down and record them, and it would take 3 hours, not including all the time that was creating the content for a 30-minute video. And so at the end of 2010, my dad, who's also my business partner, was like, why don't we just do this live? And we're like, yeah, of course, that makes total sense. So we ended up doing that. And it was a great way to market our business because it was a place where you could sit down and you could all meet together over a common interest and learn something. And the bigger picture with live webcasting that I really love is that we can sit down together, maybe not on this episode because I didn't tell too many people about it, but we can sit down and ideas can be built upon ideas because there's some interaction. You're all watching it live, just like if you were watching a live show, a premiere of a television show online, right? So you can share these ideas, share your opinions, and so it's more than just the person that's talking. And that's what I really love. So we recently, our shared hosting division was recently acquired, which was great. It's something that we've been interested in doing for some time now. And my mother, who's also my business partner, was very instrumental in that. So very proud of Mom. She created a great, negotiated a great deal with a company that's local that we really loved. It was something that the partners all agreed upon. And so what that did was really free us up to focus on live webcasting, which I'd already been doing since the beginning of this year. And so with that, I really wanted to do more. So we've already been working with clients on doing something similar to this where we produce live webcasts for them. And I wanted to just have a 20-minute playing ground where I could test things out. So for example, today we're testing out, we've got new lighting. We need to work on the positioning of the lighting and all sorts of fun stuff. But we'll do test something little every day for 20 minutes while providing you with some really awesome content around the 20s and 30s young female entrepreneurs. So it's going to be really cool. So we have, just to give you a heads up on what this actually is that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we've got themes for each day because I am a sucker for themes. So Monday is members only Monday. So what we're talking about on Monday today specifically too, we're talking about young female entrepreneurs only. So women that are starting businesses, that are doing cool things. We're going to kind of almost be the commenter on, like if you were to watch E! News and you'd find out, oh, Drew Barrymore's pregnant, that type of thing, or a new movie's coming out, but it's all going to be around young female entrepreneurs. So we're going to comment on what you guys are doing and showcase some of the new things that you're launching as well. With that being said, we'll also have, it won't just be me, a talking head, all of the time. We're going to have co-hosts. I already have a number of people lined up. If you're interested in co-hosting with me, you're more than welcome to email jay@youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com. That's my personal email address. And I'll get you set up with a date, and you can come in and promote one of your products, and we'll talk about hot topics and the theme at hand. So Monday's members only Monday. For the rest of this live webcast, apart from me telling you what's going to happen on a daily basis, we're going to also talk about I'm going to review a few books for you, because Bootstrap Book Club, which is part of YFE, has a book vote going on right now between 3 books. So I want to give you the lowdown on what each of those books are. And I, of course, want to talk about Stacey Harris from Bootstrap Book Club for a moment and review some of what YFE what's been going on in YFE. And then the rest of the show is really dedicated to some Instagram photos. The theme more for the members only topic is more on philanthropy. People are getting into the holidays, and we're going to talk about a couple focuses that have been happening on Instagram lately. So that's going to be really fun. So while today is members only, Tuesday is Try It Tuesday. We're going to try something new. Wednesday is Winning Wednesday. We're going to talk about people that have had some really big successes, whether it's like the Twitter IPO, big headlines like that, or if it's small successes like people sharing on our Facebook wall that they just made a big sale or something like that. We'll definitely make sure that we discuss that. And then, of course, why, what people are saying around those successes, how they happen, that type of a thing. Thursday is Thematic Thursday. We're going after different themes each Thursday that's dedicated around a specific topic. And then Friday is Focus Friday, where we're looking at we're honing down into habits. So for a lot of our co-hosts that are happening on Friday, they're more around personal development or business development. So it's going to be really fun. Very excited about that. So for today's topic at hand, let's go ahead and get into the Bootstrap Book Club piece. And so we've been reading a number of books. But the latest one is Gary Vaynerchuk's The Thank You Economy. We started reading that about a month ago. This was a 12-question piece, and it was really fantastic because, like I was saying before, we had at the Stacey Harris. She's our host, and she did a fantastic job. I really loved working with Stacey because she was really good about going in and posting questions, like she said, that are actionable, and also just questions that I thought were very insightful as far as who we are as bootstrappers and what we can apply into our businesses. And so to find out more about Bootstrap Book Club, go to yfe.me/find me in the club. And yes, I do always think of the 50 Cent song in my head when I do say that, and I really enjoy it. But so Stacey Harris did a great job. Go into the club and make sure that you answer some of the past questions, because there's some great discussion happening around social media and how we take care of our current clients and market ourselves. So definitely check that out. At the same time, in the club, we're voting between 3 books for our next book. This is going to be a fast read, so you have until Tuesday at midnight to vote for that. It's between The Power of Glamour, Hatching Twitter, and Unlabel. And all of those books are fantastic. I'm actually just started to read Hatching Twitter, and I have to say it's an interesting story. It's one that I've already kind of read about a little bit in the news, as I'm sure all of you are. It's by a writer, New York Times writer, that's commenting on it. And then Unlabel, I read that on Audible, or I listened to it on Audible. Fantastic book. I loved it because I didn't know too much about the Echo brand and Mark Echo himself. And so it took you along the story of how he started. He was a bootstrapper at first, and how he got to where he is today. And he actually him and his 2 partners owned 100% of the company for a very long time. And he talked about at the very end giving up some of his equity. It was really interesting. So throughout that book, it's sectioned in a way too that's very interesting, where it teaches little lessons based off of what's happened within his life, and it's not necessarily chronological where each it goes through it. It's broken into different themes, and I really liked it because he has a strong voice. And he uses words like swag bomb and stuff like that you just don't normally hear. So it's entertaining. And because I didn't know his story, it was kind of like, okay, what's going to happen next? It was suspenseful. And then as far as The Power of Glamour goes, I loved this book. I got it because I thought this is going to be something different. I just thought of, for some reason, glamour, fashion, glamour, red carpet. I just thought really cool, like just something different about business and marketing. And it ended up totally blowing my mind. It was so different from what my expectations were, because at the very beginning it talks about basically the author's thesis for writing the book and what the difference is between traditional glamour, what we think of glamour, and what glamour really is. And she talks about bringing glamour into all sorts of areas, and it's, she compares glamour to charisma, glamour to more of like the fashion type of glamour, and she breaks a lot of our assumptions around it. And it was very applicable, I thought, as far as taking it into your business and having a strong foundation for how you market and present yourself, especially as a personal brand. The idea, Mark Ecko in Unlabel actually talks about social media and using discretion. And he talks not a whole lot about social media in his book. But what he does say about it is use discretion. Don't put everything out there. And I think glamour, The Power of Glamour, really did kind of reinforce that idea. The idea that you have to be kind of a brand editor almost and show different aspects of your business based off of the power of glamour. And she also talks about like the good and the bad behind glamour too, saying that, okay, is it all just a lie, that type of a thing. And I really enjoyed it. So go to yfe.me/find me in the club to find out more about Bootstrap Book Club. And hopefully you guys will vote and tell me which one you want to read, because I really want to make sure that everyone wants to get in this, because again, it's a short read. So apart from that, talking about some of the latest things that's going on in the day, we've got one of the Bootstrap Book Clubbers, La Petite Fashionista. Love her. She's already reading The Power of Glamour and has said great things about it. La Petite Fashionista, you guys will have to look her up. And I'll include the link around this video too. She has a magazine that is beautiful. YFE is actually featured in there this month, but it's one that I've been following for some time. I followed her on Instagram for some time. Definitely check her out. But she's already been looking at it. And since I was saying that we were in the holiday mood lately, I say that because it was cracking me up today, looking at all of your red cups. This is a big topic on Instagram. Everyone's getting in the holiday spirit with the red cups. That was really fun to go through it. And on that same note, with the red cup piece, the idea of going into the holidays and feeling a little bit more philanthropic, giving back to our communities is a common topic. And today, with it being Veterans Day, is it Veterans Day or Veterans Day? Veterans Day? Veterans, right? I don't know why I say veterans. But anyway, and Veterans Day is today. I think this is just in some of the recent things that have happened in the headlines as far as like the hurricane goes in the Philippines. I definitely wanted to make sure that Monday was a focus on more of the philanthropic pieces behind young female entrepreneurs, which I feel is a common theme within our community. A lot of you even have philanthropic endeavors actually built into your business model. So with that being said, I wanted to recognize Jess Estrada. So Jess Estrada is Fresh Jess. She's awesome. Absolutely love Jess. She's actually going to be on YFE Chat Live coming up soon. And so you can see that she is actually, and I'll include again to a link for this, Philippine Super Typhoon Haiyan or Yolanda, how you can help. So you guys can check it out. If you want to help, she provides you with a number of resources to do so, which I thought was really cool of Jess. She's always, again, very philanthropic like many of you, and she likes to give back, and she has strong family roots within the Philippines. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention. The other thing is, of course, Veterans Day. There's a few things that are in the news that I wanted to point out. And of course, here's Jess's tweet. You can go on to the @YFEntrepreneur Twitter handle. We retweeted that. Sarah E. Needleman, she posted an article that she wrote from the Wall Street Journal. More young veterans taking the entrepreneurial, I forget what exactly the full piece is. Let me see if I can pull that article up too. I think I had it up. Taking the entrepreneurial path. And I just thought this was an interesting read. I'll of course include it in the video underneath it, somewhere around it, wherever it is, because a lot of large corporations are vowing to hire more veterans, and so this is basically arguing that the actual ideal piece is that they go and open up their own businesses for whatever reason, and she lists a few different reasons. With that being said, Melissa Stewart, who is sheownsit.com, fantastic resource for young female entrepreneurs. She tweeted out this article that I'll make sure that I include a link to as well. That's Air Force Major turned mom starts business called Major Mom, and it's all about getting people organized. I think that's really interesting. When I look at a lot of veterans, which by the way, thank you so much for your service. I think all of us would definitely thank you. It's interesting because they bring a lot of the things that they learn and a lot of the characteristics behind their training or their time in the military into the business world, whether it's specifically based off of their training, like the Major Mom, who organizes people's lives, but also for just running your business. Like, for example, the Ustream.com, their founder is a veteran, and he actually started Ustream. A lot of you might not know this, because he wanted a way to easily connect veterans, or not even veterans, people actively serving with their families, which I thought was really cool. And so he at first incorporated in there, and you can see he used a lot of the discipline in growing his business. And at S. Boyd Walker is on the chat right now, and she's saying her husband is a veteran. So thank you so much. Yes, definitely thank him for serving. Even that being said, veterans' wives, spouses of the military, this is a big community within young female entrepreneurs. And I think not only the veteran should be celebrated, of course the veteran should be celebrated, but definitely his or her family too, for moving around the country with him or her and really being there as a support. I think that's a big thing. A lot of the young female entrepreneurs that are part of our community are actually our military spouses, and they've started businesses because they're often relocated, and that way it gives them that more of a flexible lifestyle. So very interesting things happening. Hopefully you guys can connect within the military spouse. A great resource if you are a military spouse is Tiffany Silverberg. She's very well connected, and she's a great resource for young women who are trying to start businesses. She's also a copywriter, and I'll include her link too in the video description. So to finish this up, on the last philanthropic note, I noticed over the weekend that it was Baby2Baby in Los Angeles. It was their big gala. If you guys aren't familiar with Baby2Baby, there's a lot of organizations similar to Baby2Baby that's in Los Angeles that are around the country. I know in the Northwest we have one. I'll have to include a link to this too. But being a number of us being young moms, this is an organization or a cause we can get behind. So they actually did a big gala that was honoring Drew Barrymore. And Drew Barrymore, if you guys don't know, she recently she announced or commented that she is actually, in fact, pregnant, which is a big deal because she did not do that before. And so she was saying in one of the articles I read that she actually commented on her pregnancy because paparazzi would stalk her before. It's kind of an awkward thing that she never mentioned it. So very interesting. But anyway, the Baby2Baby organization was honoring Drew Barrymore at their gala. And in tow, all of the people that came to support her. We've got young female entrepreneur Jessica Alba and Rachel Zoe and Jamie Kennedy. They were all there. Is that right? That's her name, right? Jamie Kennedy? Jamie King. Jamie Kennedy is that dude. So they were all in, which is so fun. And then, of course, Nicole Richie. And it was just fun to go and see all of the people that support this organization. And then one of the other ones that is behind it is the Honest Company, which is Jessica Alba's company. They're a big partner with Baby2Baby. And I just thought it was interesting because this time of year and all the things that are happening now really reminds us, how can we give back in our business, whether it's part of our business model or if it is actually just, something that we do on the sides ourselves or part of our business. And one of the things that was interesting to me was Jennifer Jordan of fortheglow.com was commenting that if you have a business that has a Veterans Day sale, that you should consider giving a portion of that sale back to a veterans organization that supports the vets. And I thought that was an interesting thing. And I think there is a fine line between marketing your business as in like, oh, we're going to give a portion of the proceeds to an organization if that's for sales. I mean, I think people see in between the lines when you do things like that, right? People see that as like, okay, well, why don't you just give them the money anyway? And so I think marketing and being philanthropic and building it into your business model all has there's just a weird fine line there. I don't know what you guys think. Definitely comment on how you handle giving back to organizations and letting people know what causes you stand for. Where do you draw the line on using it in sales, that type of thing? So definitely include your comment below this video or chat it in if you're watching live. I wanted to, of course, thank everyone that showed up live today and got in with this fun little experiment with me. This was really nerve-wracking. I don't know why I do this all the time, but today in particular was nerve-wracking. And so tomorrow, just to let you guys know, again, it's Tuesday, so it's Try It Tuesday. We're going to be trying something new. It's just going to be me again, and we'll definitely include more interaction. I'll do a little bit better job promoting it. So we'll feature your tweets on the screen, and we'll get in more on the chat room and make sure that the discussion is happening. But that's going to be fun. Tuesday's going to be fun. Hopefully you guys will show up every day at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. With the exception of weekends. I'm not going to do these on weekends. It's 20 to 30 minutes or so. I like the idea of everyone showing up in the morning just because I kind of base this off of, and this is a guilty pleasure for sure, The View. I love the idea of just having that on in the background, hearing some hot topics, hearing a couple featured guests, and then being able to go on with the rest of your day. And it's a fun environment. It's not like hard-hitting news or seriousness or anything like that. It's just a fun way to start the day or to have a break in your day. And of course, all of these are going to be recorded. We'll eventually put them up on iTunes. But in the meantime, you can go to youtube.com/YF Entrepreneur to find all the replays, including replays of YFE Chat and some of our other city shows like Jacqueline Jensen's Vegas Tech and Marissa's YFE New York City. So all in all, thank you so much for showing up live. This has been Jennifer Donogh. Hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow, Tuesday. What is tomorrow's date? November 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. All right. Thank you, everyone.